I only needed a few extra hands for the holiday season. The candy store was always a hot commodity during Christmas, and I was such an easy yes that I needed my assistant manager, Windsor, to sit in on interviews with me, someone to temper my enthusiasm and make sure we were choosing the right people. Then came Gabriel. From the moment he walked in, he left an impression. His take on business casual had a bit more flair, pushing the boundaries in a way that was both bold and effortless. He had this magnetic charm about him, a smile so bright it showcased the deep dimples in his cheeks. I clocked him immediately. Queer for sure. Maybe not strictly gay, perhaps pan, maybe bi, but one of us. And I always wanted any place I worked to be a haven, somewhere safer than expected. So I turned up the flamboyance a little, tossing out signals like breadcrumbs, letting him know I was a friend of Dorothy's, a good Judy, if you will. Despite his charm, there was something in his demeanor, a hesitation, a guardedness, like he had walked into too many interviews already expecting rejection. I saw it, and I wasn't about to let him leave with that uncertainty. Windsor and I stepped into the hall, exchanged a quick but definitive nod, and offered him the job on the spot. The relief on his face was instant. His deep blue eyes shimmered, that weight of waiting, of worrying, lifting right then and there. Gabriel was a force. He learned the nuances of candy like it was second nature, upselling like a pro, volunteering for floor resets without hesitation. And for someone who looked like a delicate little twink, he had no problem throwing himself into the heavy lifting, often leaving the rest of us in the dust when it came to merchandising. I was enamored by his work ethic, his willingness, his drive. The more he opened up, the more I saw pieces of my own past reflected in his struggles with houselessness, with family, with trying to carve out a space in the world that didn't always feel like it had room for him. I was grateful he was finding his footing in Portland. When my marriage crumbled, very publicly I might add, his instinct to nurture took over. He would drive me home, stay to keep me company, make sure I wasn't unraveling alone. In the days following my separation, he became a kind of anchor, a friend. And not just to me. My circle outside of work embraced him effortlessly. He just fit. He was instrumental in helping Katie and I move into a new place, away from the wreckage of my old life. I don't know what I would have done without him. There was one day, his day off, when he walked into the store and I didn't recognize him. He strolled right up to me and I, ever the diligent retail worker, asked if he needed help. He just smiled, eyes locking onto mine. "Hi, Lucas." Still, I didn't place him. Even his voice didn't clue me in. Then finally he said it. "It's me." But he wasn't him. He was in full drag. And he was breathtaking. The transformation was so complete that it stunned me. Heels added height, makeup sculpted a whole new face, and the confidence? Radiant. I stood there, gobsmacked, marveling at the sheer beauty of it all. Gabriel became one of my closest confidants. During quarantine, he was one of the few people I saw regularly. By then, he was dating Peter, an extroverted, sweet-natured soul. Peter was cautious at first, but over time, he and I found our own rhythm of friendship. One day, he saw Katie and me walking through the parking lot where he worked security. Instead of just waving, he raced over in his car just to give us a hug. That was Peter. That was the kind of love he put into the world. Gabriel had a huge heart, and it ached for the friends he left behind in his old life. He tried so hard to help those wanting to make the transition to Portland, to give them the space to start over. But over and over, drama followed. From my vantage point, the common denominator wasn't Gabriel himself. It was his expectation that people contribute, respect each other's boundaries, and communicate like adults. Simple, reasonable things, yet somehow, too much to ask. More than once, I found myself playing mediator, trying to bridge the gap between him and his now former friends. But no matter how much effort he put in, the understanding was never mutual. He always tried to see things from their perspective, even when they refused to see his. It exhausted him. It exhausted me. And I just wished he gave himself more credit. That growing tension contributed to his and Peter's eventual breakup. It wasn't the sole reason, but it played a part. I was relieved that their separation was amicable. Still, when I ran into Peter afterward, he avoided me. It broke my heart. If Gabriel didn't hate him, why should I? But Peter was working through his own struggles, trying to redefine himself outside of that relationship. Time passed. Gabriel and I still saw each other, just Not as often. Life kept moving. He threw himself deeper into drag, into dating again, into carving out a space for himself to thrive. I watched in awe as he started a new chapter. But life, as always, had other plans. Every time he found a path forward, something, a boulder, a landslide, barreled into him, blocking his way. It wasn't fair. It wasn't his fault. Just some cruel, cosmic joke. We still talked, for hours sometimes, resonating, debating, but as my own life became more stressful, I started pulling away. Not just from him, but from many people. I was always the safe place for others, but I never gave myself the same refuge. I became more and more reclusive. Then Peter died. A senseless, cruel scam sent his anxiety into overdrive until he felt there was no way out. He was here one moment, gone the next. I'd just spoken to him a week before. I was crushed. Gabriel was devastated. It wasn't fair. Peter still had so much good left in him, so much life. He didn't even make a bad choice. Someone else did, and it cost him everything. I don't know who they are, but I will never forgive them. Peter's death sent me deeper into my spiral. Gabriel was moving away, and he came to say goodbye, his new girlfriend by his side. I could see the exhaustion in his eyes, the weight he was carrying. He was trying to move forward, to build something new, while still mourning the past. It killed me to see him like that, but I hoped, prayed, that love might help him heal. After he left, I shut down. I stopped checking in on people, stopped reaching out. I had lost too many friends to suicide, and some part of me decided it was better to keep my distance than to feel that kind of pain again. It wasn't out of anger, it was survival. I convinced myself that everyone in my life would eventually leave, so why get too close? Why let myself hurt like that again? I stuck to my core group and shuttered everyone else. I disappeared. And with that, I let so many friendships, including mine and Gabriel's, fall away. Now he's back in Portland. He's reached out, and I haven't. Not because I don't love him, not because he's done anything wrong, but because I'm still so overwhelmed by life, by the fragility of the connections I've let slip through my fingers. But I want that to change. A new year, a new job, soon a new home, one that won't weigh me down like this condo has. Maybe, as I rebuild, I can also reconnect. Maybe this essay can be the start of that. Gabriel has been a beacon of light in my life, even when things felt impossibly dark. And though I tried to shine my own light back, I burned out. Now I'm working on rekindling it. I just hope he knows I never stopped loving him. Never stopped caring. I just needed to be sad by myself for a little while. But I think I'm ready now. I hope he still is too.